All right, friends, welcome back. It is 2024. Woo! We ain't seen y'all all year.
Well,
Um,
technically, it's only been 2 months. Like you do that. It's like you enter New Year's like last year, but really, it's only been 2 months.
mm, so today is the 3rd of January. So it's the third day of 2024. We're here. We made it. We're superior. Um, so what have you been binging, friend? What's been up with you? What's the tea?
Well, now that I'm on break, I've definitely been able to get back on my binge fest. I am still finishing the Hulu original series Black Cake, which I'm on the second to last episode. And then on the other hand, I figured I might as well rewatch the first season of this series as I forgot a lot about it when I'd watched it last fall. It's an HBO Max original series called Rap Shit, created by Issa Rae. You might have heard of it.
Yeah.
That the second season had premiered this past November and had concluded a little bit more recently this past December, if I remember correctly. I don't know, but bottom line, I saw the first season when it came out last fall, but I just totally forgot a lot of details about the first season, so I just figured to myself, might as well rewatch it. I'm having a lot of fun rewatching it. It's only 8 episodes, and the episodes are not quite lengthy, to be honest. Some of them are no more than like 25 minutes. I don't know what it is with Issa Rae only making like 25 to 30-minute episodes.
Mhm.
But um Rap Shit, for those who don't know what it's about, it's created by Issa Rae, who's also better known for creating the TV show Insecure, and also earlier on her popular web series like Dorm Diaries, The Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl, just really social satire like type of comedies. And Rap Shit, where this comes into hand, why I think it's quite a unique show that really fits with today's generation. It really sheds light on how social media really plays such an influence on the music industry, in particular rap, and how especially that puts a greater pressure on women rappers, like, because of the discussions of hypersexualization, how even conscious women rappers don't really get that as much benefit of the doubt as male conscious rappers like J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar or Tupac. It's a lot of details, honestly. It's a really thought provoking show and also funny, if I may add. I recommend it if you're interested in a story like that. And that's all I've really been watching lately. I haven't seen too many movies. The most recent movie that I saw was a Netflix film directed by my personal favorite director, if not one of them, Zack Snyder, better known as the director of DC movies such as Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and the 4-hour cut of Justice League that streamed on HBO Max 2 years ago in 2021. Did I say the name of the movie? The movie's called Rebel Moon. It's a new type of science fiction movie. It's a grittier Star Wars, to say the least, honestly. It's a lot of the same themes about repression and the rebellion and whatnot, but a little bit more violent. And have I seen any other movies recently? Um, I don't think I've seen any other movies recently. Yeah. What about you, friend?
So as everybody knows, I've been in my anti-TV era, but
Mm-hmm.
I've come out of it. And the show that got me to come out of it was Percy Jackson. I actually wasn't gonna watch it at first, because it's like, oh, this is like a children's show, but I decided to tune in, and then I actually really like it. Um, there are 4 episodes out so far. The fourth episode came out yesterday. So far, every episode is at least 4 stars. Um, they're really
Mm-hmm.
eating, and the kids are really acting. Like they actually have like actors who are the age appropriate book character ages. Like they were like 12 at the time of filming. So yeah, I really love that. It's kind of refreshing. I feel like this is sort of Disney's version of Stranger Things. It has
Mm-hmm.
the potential to be that in terms of longevity and popularity. Just because they're supposed to like do most of the books through the screen adaptation. And if that's true and they do get renewed, those kids are going to be booked and busy as they should. That's a talented group of children. Love that for them. And I also
Mm-hmm.
feel old because, like, why were you born in like 2009? Were you, What do you mean?
That's crazy.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, those kids
um,
look no more than like 12.
yeah, I think they're like so. I think they're like 14 or 15 right now. By the time of filming, they were 12. And then the guy who plays Luke is our age. And then the
Mm.
girl who plays I forgot her name, but she was like 16 or something. I don't know. But
Um, are you talking about the little black actress that plays Annabelle Chase? Is it Annabelle Chase or Annabeth Chase?
Annabeth, she's 12. She's the same age. I was talking about
Oh,
hold
okay.
on, because
I was about to say, why is she older than Percy?
no. Oh, but yeah, speaking of Percy, I love him. Like, that's nephew actually. Percy's nephew, Annabeth is daughter, and Grover is just like kind of everything. Um, I don't know. It's really good so far. I definitely recommend that you tune in, friends, so
Hmm.
you can talk about it. Um,
It's definitely on my list, and I totally agree with you. It has potential to have longevity, considering it's based on all these popular books. I just think there's a lot of to take apart with it. Hopefully, they do a better justice than the last Percy Jackson movie did with what's Homeboy's name again? Logan Lerman. I just looked it up. That I remember there was the first movie, which was pretty enjoyable for the time that it came out. Then the second one came out, which was and then I just remember they canceled the film series after that.
yeah. Um, but I got my dad to watch it too, and he said he liked the movies better than the show.
Really,
I can't. My dad hasn't read the books, so he doesn't care.
I read
But
some of
I
them when
don't.
I was in elementary. They had some of them in my school library.
Yeah, I only read like one of them, so I don't. But I feel like it's really cool that they're basing it on the books and that like each episode is named after a chapter in the book, which is really cute.
Ooh, that's
And
really
yeah.
cool.
Oh, and I finally caught up to Doctor Who.
Mm.
The Doctor is officially black, so per
Yay!
love that. Shuti Gatwa
Wait,
ate his first episode up.
I'm trying to I'm trying to channel my Dr. Umar voice, which is like Black Power, Black Power. Not just playing. Continue, friend.
Shuti Gatwa ate his first episode up. I'm in love with the new companion, Millie Gibson. She's actually the same age as me. I'm actually like a couple months older than her, which is crazy. That's how I know I'm getting old.
Hmm.
Because why am I older than people on TV? This is strange. Um, but yeah, it was really good. And so far I've just been watching random movies. For some reason I decided to start watching movies on CW Seed. um don't recommend. The amount of ads, you're trying to be cable so bad, and all the movies are just very horrible. Like I watched Flight, um 7,500. It was
Hmm.
terrible. It was bad. The plot made no sense. Just they were trying to throw you like an Easter egg, like, oh, it could be this or it could be that. Girl, just say what it is. Stop. Oh, just the no. And I watched 10-year reunion. It was terrible. The plot easily guessable. The actors, they weren't acting. Um,
Mm.
no offense to my girl Vicky from Vampire Diaries. But girl, you could have did better. Um, and friend, have you seen Barbie yet?
I have not yet, friend. My family wanted to watch it. We're probably gonna watch it this upcoming weekend
Have you seen Five Nights at
because I
Freddy's yet?
that I have no excuse for because my family's not interested in seeing that. My brother already saw it with his friends. I have to watch
Friend,
that as soon as
you
possible.
haven't seen Five Nights at Freddy's. You haven't seen Barbie. You haven't watched Percy Jackson. What's going
Well,
on?
to be respectfully fair, friend, 2 nights ago, I was gonna watch Barbie on my own, but then my family walked in on me and said, "We're not gonna watch it." And it was like, "Oh, I didn't think you guys were so interested." It was like, "No, we could watch it." It was like, "Okay."
Okay, I'll give you a pass for now, but tell your family to wrap it up.
Yeah. Is Five Nights at Freddy's still on Peacock? Because I know whenever they stream movies on there, it's like they keep it on there for a little bit, then they take it off and put it somewhere else. It's still on Peacock, right?
I think it should be.
Let
It
me
was there the
check
last
on
time
my
I
phone.
checked. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
even if it's
Speaking,
not, I don't think it'll be hard to find.
no,
Also,
hold
I
on, hold
remembered
on.
another movie that I saw recently. I saw a movie on Netflix called Gran Turismo. based off of the video game, which is also surprisingly based off of a true story.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Speaking of cable, um, I
Yeah,
need
it's still on
streaming.
Peacock.
Mm, I'm gonna need streaming services to stop pretending like they're cable TV because why are you releasing an episode at 9 p.m. at night? What happened to
No, I
releasing
was thinking,
episodes at midnight? What happened to that? You're a
right,
streaming
so then people
service.
could just watch it in the morning because
You
it reminds me of how when Euphoria season 2 came out when we were in a pandemic in 2021, that I see people staying up until 9, 10 o'clock at night to watch Euphoria, and then this premieres. Is like, I don't get what's the point of streaming if they're just gonna treat it like cable TV.
was that 2021?
When Euphoria season 2 came out, yeah, if I remember correctly,
Oh my god! I thought it was 2022. Oh, that's
it could have been, friend.
nasty. But yeah, I don't know because if you're gonna listen, if you're gonna release everything at once, I actually miss weekly releases. Like I like
Mm-hmm.
weekly release. Let's spread it out. I miss the suspense. I miss the cliffhangers that you don't get with a when you release the whole season at once, right? But if you're going to release it weekly, release it at midnight. This is not cable.
Mm-hmm.
You no. Why are you releasing it at 9, 6, 10 p.m.? 9, 7 Central. You're not Disney Channel. Cut it out.
You You see, friend, I don't mind waiting weekly. I've gotten used to that. But my problem is when they split a season in half, it's a little tedious if you ask me.
When they split the season in half, but like spread it months apart, like with Manifest, why you
Yeah.
release like the first half in like September and second half in February?
Oh, friend, how could I totally forget to mention in regard to the movies that we watched? I saw the new Color Purple remake, which I
Oh,
really enjoyed it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I don't want to waste too much time before we get into the actual topic, so just give 'em, like, the quick rundown. I definitely personally enjoyed it more than the original personally. I think it had a lot more lighthearted elements due to it being a little bit more of a musical, similar to the Broadway show that came out a little bit earlier on, but also still has some of its more serious moments.
Yeah, that reminds me. Boosie, you know who Boosie is, right? The rapper.
Who doesn't know who that fool is? I was just thinking about him when I was thinking about the color purple.
Yeah, he commented on the color purple saying that he took his daughters to go see it. And people were like, wait, you took your daughters to go see a movie that has assault, gory stuff, abuse in it, but your final straw was when people were lesbians?
Right.
You
And it's like
hired.
he was saying, and he's saying that like there's an agenda being forced, but if his ditzy self knew any better, in the original Color Purple novel by Alice Walker, what's her name again? Sugar Avery and Silly did have a same sex relationship in the book. But initially, when the film was adapted the first time around in the 80s by Steven Spielberg, that just wasn't going to pass at the time. I think we're definitely in a somewhat more welcoming generation of same-sex couples to some certain degree, so they added it back in.
Furthermore, he's the same person who hired a grown woman to come touch his son.
There wasn't even just one woman. He had like what, three of those strippers. I remember the whole video.
But you want to talk about an agenda.
Mm. I actually have his tweet right here on my phone that he was talking about. I had to walk out on this Color Purple movie, and two other older couples walked out also because I had my little girls with me, and it seemed like a rainbow love story. Good acting, but whoever wrote the script is pushing the narrative hard. As a parent, I will not let my little girl watch this film. To your point, friend, why are you even taking your little girls to see the color purple in the first place? I feel the themes in that movie are just too deep for that age.
How old are these children, first of all? The couples who walked
I
out are
was
sending
gonna
me
say, what
because
what does the old couple got to do with this?
exactly because why are you going on a date to see the color purple? That's not date material. Go see a romance.
Or take your little kids to go see.
Go see Willy Wonka.
Right, go see Wonka. I'm sorry, friend. I didn't mean to interrupt you though. What were you gonna say about Boozy?
Oh, I watched. Speaking of movies, I watched the Hunger Games. the other day.
Ooh, how was that? I don't think you told me.
It was good. I mean, she was singing a lot. But then again, it's also called the ballads of like songbirds or something. So I mean, what can we expect? But it was good. She kind of ate that. She kind of ate that. I know I'm more interested into seeing what's her name, Rachel.
Mm.
Her
Oh,
name
Rachel
is,
Zegler.
yeah. She kind of ate that. And then Cornelius Snow. Oh, he was a monster. Um. So, yeah, and that ending was so interesting. Have you
Ooh.
seen it, friend?
Well, no, I've never been a fan of the Hunger Games, friend.
Oh,
I thought
I don't like it
uh,
either.
I thought the books were decent when I was in elementary, but the movies just they weren't really hitting for me because of Jennifer Lawrence. You know, I have a bias to her. Did I tell you I have a
Oh,
bias to
you
her? I
did
don't know.
do that. I forgot about it. I didn't
I
like the
just
Hunger.
don't like her as I just don't like her as an actress, friend. She really tries too hard to be a badass to me, and it comes off cringy. She ruined X-Men for me.
Yeah. Oh, oh.
My friend.
All right, friend. Okay.
I say what I said, friend. I didn't like
Listen,
her as Mistake.
you stand in your truth, friend. You got it, friend. But I didn't like the Hunger Games movies either because I don't know. I just when I was younger, I liked Divergent better. I know,
I can agree to
controversial.
that.
But
I didn't.
Divergent,
Divergent is controversial. I didn't know that.
no, the liking Divergent over the Hunger Games is controversial.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, I just liked the characters better. I mean, those books were messy. But the movies were pretty good to me. I don't know, and I was never really, I never really cared about Katniss or Peeta. Like I could really
Yeah.
care less. Um, they were kind of boring.
I thought his
But
name was Peter this whole time. His name is Pita, like the bread.
yes, like the bread, and her name is Katniss, like the plant.
Wow. That's even more hilarious.
But yeah, I watched it with my dad because my dad had it on downstairs, and I was like, "Huh, let me tune in." So I went and sat with my dad and watched it. But
Hmm.
it was pretty good. Anyway, are you ready to get into it, friend?
Yes, I am, friend. We could definitely discuss the color purple another time because I don't want to spoil way too much. I know you didn't watch it yet,
Hmm.
but let's get into it.
All right. So today we're going to talk about things that we should be leaving in 2023. There's a lot of things that should be left. There's a lot of things that we allowed in 2023 to occur that shouldn't have. So yeah, number one is gonna have to be, and this can kind of rope into a lot of different topics. But number one is definitely gonna have to be those toxic podcasters. Not us,
Hmm.
not
That's
us.
the reason we started this podcast. We wanted to just spread a little positivity in this era of negative podcasters.
Yeah, we're positive over here. Per but yeah, it makes me toxic podcasters with all their gender war stuff and like, oh, a woman should do this and that and that and this, and if she's not, then she's not a woman, or a man should do this and that and that and this, and if he's not, he's not a real man. Or how are you gonna be in your masculine energy and da 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 da
It's
da
the
da.
worst.
It's just like, do y'all have anything else to talk about other than women and men? Mind you, the women that you don't get, you're single. How are you telling somebody you're not how are you telling somebody they're not a catch or that this is why you don't get a man? You don't have a girl. Let's talk about that. Now let's take a little break to hear from our sponsors. It's summertime, guys, which means it's the prime time for festivals and concerts. This festival season, planning for faster, efficient hydration is essential. Liquid IV has you covered while you prep before, power through to the headliner, and recover after the weekend. Its convenient packaging and delicious flavors like watermelon and hydrating feeling keeps me coming back for more. One stick of liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. They have 12 delicious, refreshing flavors to keep your hydrating routine exciting. Made with premium ingredients, non GMO, and free from gluten, dairy, and soy, is the perfect thing to keep you hydrated this festival season. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code BFFRPOD at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop hydration today using promo code BFFR at liquidiv.com.
I think it's so funny, friend, to build off of you that I've seen so many videos, especially with the whole Simone Biles and her husband thingy talking about that I'm the
Oh,
prize. And it's like, here's the way that I view it, friend. I know you have so much to say about that, friend. I just really need to let this out real quick. That so whenever I hear guys say that, I'm the prize, or woman that might say I'm the prize, you ever notice that the people that say things that I'm the prize, it really does give off the same energy to me as that I'm such a nice guy. Like if you really were the prize, just like you were, if you were a nice guy, your actions should speak louder than your words than you would having to gaslighting yourself by saying that out loud because clearly there's a little bit of guilt lingering inside.
I have a lot to
Oh, you
say
could go,
about the
friend. You could
Simone
go.
Biles thing. So basically, if you guys don't know, Simone Biles and her husband went on a podcast where he said that they met on a dating app and that she pursued him, and that he didn't know who she was, and that he
Hmm.
was the prize. And she said that, eventually I'm going to be known as so and so's wife. First of all, I don't know that man's name. I still don't know that man's name. Um, Nobody knows who he is. And people are like, oh, he's in the NBA. Women went on TikTok and
I
asked their
I just know
husbands.
he's in the NFL.
Oh yeah, the NFL, my bad. Women went on
You're a good
TikTok
friend.
and asked their husbands who he was, and they were like, "Oh, he's in the NFL." And then they were like, "Do you know his name?" Nobody knew it. Nobody knew his name.
Hmm.
Nobody
Yeah,
knows
I
you.
saw that. There was this. It was like asking my NFL crazed boyfriend. It's just like, it's just like, no, who is that? And it's just like, and then she was like, she Simone Biles' husband was like, oh, okay.
And the fact that he said that he didn't know who Simone Biles was, you, I, that's
Just
a lie.
no way. Just
That's a
no
lie.
way.
And actually, I don't know if you know this friend, but on Peacock, actually, Kevin Hart and was it Keenan or was it Kale? Oh,
Um,
well, who's the one on SNL?
Probably Keenan. It's
Is that the one on
Keenan.
SNL? Okay, yeah, yeah. It was Kevin
Yep.
Hart and Keenan who have like this little segment thingy where they like talk about like stuff throughout the year. And so they did it in 2023, and they had Simone Biles on, and they asked her about it, and she said actually, they got into arguments about it before, and like she was saying that,
Her and her husband, I
um,
presume.
yeah, she was saying that her husband tried to do her gymnastics workouts and he couldn't do it, but she went to do his workouts with his team and she did it like flawlessly and like with no trouble. And they like eventually they were like,
Hmm.
oh well, like we can't. They just choose not to talk about it anymore or bring it up, and it's like, so in your marriage, you can't talk about your career. What?
So pretty much what you just told me was that his ego got shattered.
Exactly. Because like also how can you say you don't know Simone Biles? How can you say that? And I talked to my friend about this and he was like, oh well, gymnastics is very niche and da da da. I've never watched the Olympics in my life. I still know who Simone Biles is.
Hmm.
Everybody knows who Simone Biles is. Like, let's be for real. Let's stop and be serious. And then he also said that, oh well, I think that all men are the prize. All men, all men are the
I really want to.
prize.
I really want to know what he's smoking.
He was like, yeah, I think in most relationships, I think in almost all relationships, men are the prize. The prize.
That's
The
never.
the prize. With the amount of bums that
Hmm.
exist, with the statistics for women filing for divorce at an all-time high, I'm gonna need you to sit and be for real. Also,
To build off
who
of you, friend, of what? Oh, sorry, friend, you first.
also this can like go into a different topic of weaponized incompetence. Do you know what that is, friend? Okay, so basically, it is when someone pretends like they don't know how to do something so you can stop asking them to do it. Like, let's say,
I don't think
um,
I've heard of that.
I asked my husband to wash the dishes, and then, like, every time I ask him to wash the dish, he breaks the dish. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, just stop washing dishes. I'll do it myself. Or I ask
But in
someone
the
to watch,
name of
or a woman asks her husband to watch their kid, and then they like leave and they come back and the kid is like covered in peanut butter or something, or like the house is a mess. It's like they pretend not to do simple tasks so that you can stop asking them to do those tasks. They pretend to be stupid, which is like, and then there's this whole thing of like single married moms where like the woman is married and
hmm
they have kids but the husband does nothing, so she's basically a single parent. So
I shouldn't have gotten that lightheaded from listening to that, friend. That's wow.
And then there was
Um.
the whole Twitter thread. Also, we leave this in 2023. Um, stop asking weird questions on Twitter. Stop it.
hmm
Stop with the weird scenarios. Stop it. Because why every 3 to 5 business months we see the question, who do you serve first, your man or your kids, or what would you do if you're da 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 da? It's like, stop. Go
hmm
touch some grass. Anywho, this lady, there was this whole Twitter thread back a few months ago. People were it was like that phase where you realize you hate your girlfriend, and then a bunch of men tweeted talking about how they hate their girlfriends and what they do to get their girlfriends to break up with them, or what they do to their girlfriends to like so they hate them or whatever. And it's like, whatever happened to breaking up? Whatever happened to leaving? What Where did it go? Why
Some people are truly so behind me, friend.
why are you on Twitter talking about how much you hate your girlfriend when you can just leave and be single?
Right.
Is that like a foreign concept to people? Like, why
hmm
are you making somebody else? Why are you making yourself and somebody else miserable?
To build off of you, friend, with Simone Biles. So to build off of you about how pretty much his masculinity was fragile for some reason because what he couldn't do her workouts. Like, bro, it happens. Like, so okay, you said that Simone was able to do his workouts. Like, as someone that's been working out for what 6 years now, like do you have like these different types of exercises, like, for different kinds of athletes? Someone that plays in the NFL, they mostly do like really like basic like compound like type of lifting weights or body weighted calisthenics. And you take Simone Biles, that like a lot of gymnastics people, they usually often more than not do calisthenics type of training because they need a strong core, this, that, and the third. And I wouldn't be surprised if they also dip their toes in weight training, for just a little bit of extra like power, especially in the leg areas when they have to do all that jumping. Now, on the other hand, when it comes to him doing Simone Biles' exercise, that requires like a really superhuman level of flexibility, which not everyone is gifted with. So I don't see why he would put himself in that kind of predicament if he knows that he's not that flexible. Like,
Hmm.
you would never see me trying to do that. I will like rip my arm in half.
That also reminds me that people went through his following, and he was mostly following light skins and Latinos,
Oh boy. So she's the exception, dark skin girl.
or he's trying to ride her coattails.
Hmm. What was I about to say though, friend? And then going back to him not knowing who Simone was, that's just BS. It's just BS. Like you said, friend, like you don't watch the Olympics that much, you don't watch sports that much, like you said. Like I definitely dip my toes in sports. Like, I do like watching the Olympics and track and field. I dip my toes in basketball and football and whatnot. Like I enjoy talking about those things. But it's like you know, I don't watch gymnastics like at all. I don't watch tennis at all. Like that's like saying I don't know who Serena Williams is or Venus Williams is. Like you just gotta know who she is. You don't need to listen to 80s pop like that and still know who Michael Jackson is. Like, you know what I mean? Like who does not know who they are because of how influential they are? Like Simone Biles, like I remember my elementary teachers were talking about her. That's what a sensation she was.
She literally has a presidential medal, and you don't know who she
Right.
is? He's a liar. It's giving she's
He
not my
was
type.
clearly
It's
he
giving
was
trying to
oh,
humble
what were you
her.
gonna say, friend?
I'm
What
saying
were you saying, friend, that she's not her type?
it's giving he's not it's giving she's not his type. It's giving he's trying to humble her, bring her down a peg, not let her head get too big, like all this type of stuff. Maybe he feels emasculated because she's the more popular one. She could, I don't know about the breadwinner, but I mean she's the more relevant one. I don't know, but
I'm not entirely sure what her net worth is, but I wouldn't doubt that she makes more than him. It's another type of situation with Kiki Palmer and Darius Jackson, or I mean, I was about to say Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, but I wouldn't go as far to make that comparison because ASAP doesn't fall super far behind Rihanna. Yeah, I would say more along
yeah.
the lines of Kiki and Darius Jackson.
I don't know because apparently gymnasts don't make that much. Like they don't make that much from like the Olympics and stuff. They make more from like brands and deals and stuff than the actual Olympics part, which is crazy to me.
hmm I'm looking up Simone Biles' net worth. Oh, wow. So she doesn't have an official net worth just yet, quite surprisingly. It says it's that it's around 50 million or 16 million. Yeah, there's a bunch of different results. It seems pretty unclear.
Ooh, it might snow. Oh
Oh no. I guess snow decided to come late, huh?
my god.
But
Honestly,
what was I about to say? Oh, oh,
global
you
warming
first,
is
friend. My bad, my bad.
crazy. Global warming is crazy because why is it not snowing in Chicago? Where's
I
the
haven't
snow?
had not one drop of snow over here, New Jersey, New York. It's just been frigid cold and rainy.
Like I went outside earlier today with my dog. I came back inside sniffling. Why is it cold? But there's no snow.
Was it like cold to that point where you inhale, like it almost kind of feels like your lungs are burning?
It wasn't that cold, but it was, I don't know, my nose was burning a bit. But like where's the snow? Why is the ground clear? It's snowing up in Canada where my friend is. She sent us a picture of her snow. But it's not snowing in
Mm-hmm.
America. Where's the snow at? It's nowhere to be found. Stop. The global warming is crazy. You know what, y'all? Stop vaping.
Mm-hmm.
I beg.
I think it's so interesting, friend, to keep. I have so much to say about that Simone Biles and her husband situation. That it's just so sad to me that people are always attacking the woman. That like, why are you with that man? You need to divorce that man. You could have chose better. You could have did better. And it really just reminds me of the whole situation with Kiki Palmer and Darius Jackson. It's like, yeah, I really hope the best for these women that they do get out of these predicaments, but it's like how best to word this? It's like when they meet these men, they obviously aren't going to present their true colors like that earlier on, because if that were the case, they could have easily dodged the bullet then and there. Like, you know what I mean? They don't, like, it's like the more they get comfortable, then that's when they start to show their true colors and they lock these women in a cage.
A man will pretend until he gets what he wants, and then he'll show his true
hmm
colors. Whether that's marriage, a baby, your money, whatever he wants. If he gets it, then he'll show you who he really is.
Because people were saying, why was Simone so silent? She didn't say not one thing, that, like, girl, like, have a little bit of a spine. And it's like,
Listen, I'm not gonna judge her. If that's what she wants for her
hmm
marriage, that's what she wants. If she wants her man to be more popular than her, if she wants her man to be the breadwinner, you know what? All power to you, girly pop. You want that traditional marriage?
I
Go
was
ahead.
about to I was about to say the same thing. Like, if Simone wants to be the traditional wife, then so be it. Who are we to tell her what we should do?
Yeah, the whole leave the man. Like, I mean, sometimes you should leave him, but that's your business.
hmm
I'm not gonna get on the internet and tell nobody to leave nobody, because that's
hmm
you. That's you. You got
By
it.
the way, friend, I thought it was really interesting that you said that he followed white girls and non-black Latinas. That's new news to me. What were people saying about that again? Because that really makes me think now. Because it's a little bit of a topic within its own, but like there's been a discourse. I've even talked about it at some point that, there's obviously a lot of pressure on the beauty when it comes to darker skinned black women in our communities. That there's sometimes what we call an exception dark skin girl depending on the qualities that they compensate for being dark skinned. Maybe their features might be more smaller, maybe they might have a certain build. Like that's the kind of vibe that it's getting.
Maybe. Or the status. Like they can
Yeah, what would
provide
you
you
but
something.
can you build a little bit more on that? Where did you find that out from?
Um, somebody said it somewhere. I can't tell you where. I think it was a TikTok or I don't know. But allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, somebody went through his following at some point and saw that he was following light skinned women and Latinas and white girls.
Mm,
And they didn't see any darker skinned women. Um,
mm,
so
mm.
yeah, it's quite possible that he could be. And also, this is all allegedly. We're just talking, y'all. Don't come for us talking about, oh, you don't know these
Mhm.
people. Da, 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 da. Well, duh. Okay, Sherlock. But allegedly, that's what people saw. And so people are thinking that she's probably not his type, and that he could be riding her coattails, for some type of end game, riding her popularity, her status, or whatever. I don't know nothing about none of that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. And one more thing to add, kind of overlapping this into our overall topic of just letting go of these toxic podcasters, especially the dating coach like type of people. I just find it all the more embarrassing because when you really soak in the bigger picture, everybody sees this nonsense. Like, it's not just black people that might stumble upon this on their feeds. Like, white people will see this, a bunch of non-black people will see this, and one way or the other eventually they're gonna use it against us, especially when you have these fools like whatever the heck Simone Biles' husband's name. I don't even respect anyone else to know his real name. It's like that eventually that they'll probably use that like back in his face, like to say that black men as a collective are emotionally unstable or like collectively abusive, like when the situation arises to some sort of injustice against black men. But
Mm.
that's just the way I see it. What do you think, friend?
Um, yes. Hold on, friend. I'm.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to find something. So there was this guy. Speaking of the podcast, there's this
Mm-hmm.
guy. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm about to play this. Speaking of, we're gonna play a crazy podcast clip just to show you why these toxic podcasts should be left. All right.
Okay.
Washcloths are for poor people. Yeah. So yeah, I only have one friend use washcloths, and when she would stay with me, she'd say, "Can I have a washcloth?" And I said, "I don't have washcloths. Yeah. There's no washcloth. Use your hand, dummy." I really do remember the first time I crashed at a poor friend's house, and then he handed over like a towel for after the shower, and then a bar soap, and then a little one. I go, "What's the little towel?" He goes, "A washcloth." I go, I threw it back at him. I'm like, "I'm good," and he was like, "Washcloths." Now, 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 since when are washcloths for poor people? Basically, somebody explained this to me. They said
Mm-hmm.
that rich people don't care about the amount of soap that they're using, so they'll just put it on their hands and rub it on their bodies and not care how much of it is going down the drain. But when we put soap on a towel, we are guaranteeing that it stays on the towel and that we aren't wasting any soap. But also, why are you washing your whole body with your hand? How do you exfoliate?
Mm-hmm.
How do you scrub? How do you make sure you're really getting into the nitty gritty?
And who was that speaking in the video again, friend?
It hold on, I'm about to tell you because he's a comedian, allegedly, and his name, Jesus, what's his name? I forgot his name, friend. I'm about to find it.
I
Um,
just lost a brain cell in two listening to that. I don't use a washcloth, but I use the loofah sponge or whatever it's called in the stick thingy.
Yeah. Like just washing, I use a loofah. I have exfoliating gloves. I have like a back scrubber. But like,
Hmm.
why are you just washing your whole body with your hand?
Right. That's wow.
That's the craziest thing I've heard in my life. Why would you do that? That's why people. That's why certain people be smelling like pennies after it rains because they're not washing themselves correctly. These are the same people who don't wash their legs because the soap runs down their legs and they're like, "Oh, it's clean now." But no, it's not. It's not clean. You're gonna need to actually scrub your legs. It's just it's nasty. Oh, let's not forget Dr. Umar and who was the other guy he was talking to? Where he was like, "Are you mixed
Oh,
race?"
Doctor. Are you talking about when Dr. Umar was on the Joe Budden show recently?
Yeah,
I
and they're like,
didn't watch that 100%. I just saw the video
mm,
of Dr. Umar debating with that guy that had the white wife or whatever. And it's like, I don't know why that man thought that he was going to win that argument with Dr. Umar.
the guy who said washcloths are for poor people is Tom Segura. He's a comedian. Never heard of him before.
I have
Um,
absolutely no idea who that is.
but yeah, and then he's selling washcloths that say "poor" on it.
That is trifling.
um, so yeah, I don't know. Either way, he's trying to profit off of it is crazy. All right, here's the Dr. Umar clip.
Are you mixed race?
Oh
No. Are
boy.
you a bunny hopper? Yes. That's why.
Okay.
Are you mixed race? No. Are you a bunny hopper? Yes. That's why you have a liberal perspective because you go home to a white woman. But that's not true. I felt this way before I met my white girlfriend. Although your white girlfriend and possibly none of her family owned the slave thing. From Portugal. Although the Portuguese was the first ones in the slave trade. The very they built most of the dungeons in Africa. So I know she got racism in her veins because of the Portuguese role in the slave trade. Let's say her family didn't come all of that. Let's not fit. It was the first ones in the shit. Fuck out of here, man. You get on the beginning of the white Portuguese bloodline. This girl, it was the shit of the Portuguese. 1400s. They built the first fucking dungeons. I'm gonna crack them. No, you're not. Because you're bunny hopping. The reason you have no business being with a Caucasian woman is although she nor her family may have participated in our oppression directly, she benefits from it. Should we have that same disdain for the Africans that sold us into the slave trade? That's a great question. Are you mixed race? No. Are you?
I'm sorry. Are you a bunny hopper? And him saying yes is so funny. Why was
Friend,
he
Doctor, you know
yelling?
stuff is about to hit the fan when Dr. Umar is yelling and cursing. Like, I have never seen him lose his cool like that, like, ever.
Oh wow. Oh
I think that's like the
wow.
first time I've heard him say a curse word.
Really? Oh
I am
wow.
so serious. That was kind of scary.
I haven't seen the whole thing either. That's my first time watching that clip. Only thing I've heard from was like the whole "Are you a bunny hopper" thing. Um, which is
He
I'm
was
about
like,
to use that
yes.
from now on. Are you a bunny hopper? Answer the question. um,
Oh my god.
but yeah, we have the
I
podcasters
think
out
that
here.
I think
You
that
know.
quite concludes that segment, friend. Do you have anything else to add about the podcasters or the Simone Biles situation?
No, I don't think so. Use your washcloths, use your loofahs.
I think I think the one more thing that I could only really add about that is that it's just so beyond me how men and women can, like, go to these so-called dating coaches, whether if it's these red pillars or these divestors, and it's like, how do you just sit there and take advice from people who don't even have their own situations and overall duty together? Like that just, yeah.
It reminds me of Steve Harvey. People go to
That's all
Steve
I really have to
Harvey
say
for
about
like
that. Wait, did you freeze?
marriage advice or whatever, but like people go to Steve Harvey for marriage advice or whatever. He's been married like 3, 4 times. I don't think he's the expert. I'm gonna be
That's what I'm saying.
serious.
It's like, how do you go to these men and women that have been divorced so many times, broken up so many times, aren't like are single and like clearly are having a hard time getting their lives back together or in a current relationship and it's still not working out, just in a toxic environment. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's strange. All right, ready for the next topic, friend? I think you have more to say about this than me. We can talk
Which
about
one?
the gym bros.
Oh my goodness, friend. Where do I even start with them? That, like I said earlier on in this episode, that I've been working out for 6 years now. I found a lot of mental clarity from it. It's definitely become a really passionate hobby of mine. And it just really saddens me that, that I think the fitness community can be both a very like loving and supportive community, but yet on the other side of the coin it could be such a discriminative and not so loving place at the same time, especially when it comes, to plus size people that would like to become influencers. Because I think a lot of time when people think of fitness influencers, you're probably thinking of someone what like soldier. I said soldiers. I mean superhero shoulders, I meant to say, or like abs or something. And it's like, but and it's like, not everyone is gonna look like that, like, you know what I mean. And I really do commend, like, those plus size like fitness influencers, like, that are aiming to lose weight. And it's like, they really take their followers on a journey with them, like, you see what I mean. And I think it's really important, like, to represent that we all start from somewhere, you know what I mean. Because it's like all the time whenever you see people that are already shredded and whatnot, it can sometimes be discouraging to people to because they start to compare themselves, that like, why are they not getting as fast results, or why are they struggling compared to these people that could do some of these exercises effortlessly, like, you know what I mean.
Hmm.
And yeah, I just don't get these gym bros, even some of these like gym women sometimes, that it's like they hate the existence of plus size people like Lizzo, for example, that are promoting body positivity because they think for some reason that's telling people like to go out and eat McDonald's or Pizza Hut every night or something, when it's really not the case at all. Like, there are a lot of these body positive people that go to the gym and take care of themselves. That's literally the point of body positivity. That's not saying like to eat like crap all day and just lay around all day. That's saying that you can still take care of your body while not also having this condescending self-image of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, friend. I don't have much to say. I'm not on that side of the internet, and I don't work out
Right.
myself. The most I'll do is play Michael Jackson The Experience and call it a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are very toxic in that spectrum. Like, oh, if you don't lift this, or if you don't squat this, then you're not this and that and that and this. It's like, shut up.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's like I said, it's like, how do you hate plus size people for simply existing and spreading a little bit of love to the world, to people that look like them? But it's like, on the other hand, when they actually do get in the gym and are trying to make better changes for like their health appearance, whatever that may be, you still hate them. It's like, you know what I mean? Like harassing them in the gym or giving them some sort of weird looks. It's just terrible.
Yeah. Um. All right. Next topic, friend.
Hmm.
These topics kind of coincide. We need to leave those toxic relationship pushers back in 2023. So, AKA
Hmm.
Blueface, Krishan, Stewie. I don't know the girl real name. Is it Alexis?
I don't know, friend. You got
We gonna
me
call
on
her.
that
We gonna
one.
call her
But
Stewie.
another one is Jada Pinkett Smith and Will
Yep.
Smith.
Mm-hmm. Leave them there, because why are we? First of all, with the Blueface and Krishan thing, why do they have a show? Who
They have a
who
show?
pushed that? Who cleared that? Who
What is
greenlit
that
that?
even on? Like BET
I
Plus?
I couldn't tell. I think it's on Zeus. I think it's on.
Of
I think
course.
it's on Zeus. Um, people call them this generation's Whitney and Bobby. Why are we? Why are we promoting that?
Uh,
Why? Why are we promoting that? Let's not. Let's keep it away. I mean, yes, the songs are right. they kind of slap sometimes. I'm a bad little, and I'm shaped like a Barbie. But
Mm-hmm.
let's not, because why he just released a remix of that song today? It's the third day of January.
No,
Stop.
I was just thinking to myself that, friend, you know what Krishan Rock and Blueface kind of corresponds to that I mentioned in the very start of the episode, that with Issa Rae's HBO Max series Rap Shit, that it really made me wonder deeply, like as I'm watching this show, that you ever feel that, not even just with the rap industry, I feel when it comes to the music industry in general these days, you really don't need to be that talented to get by, because some people either just need to have pretty privilege on their side or drama on their side and they'll go viral. You
Mm-hmm.
don't even need to, because can you even name one Blueface song, friend? I can't.
Just Tatiana, and that's because people used to sing it to me constantly. That's my name.
Yeah, I can't name no Blueface song, but yeah. What do you think?
I need him to be canceled as soon as he released that Tatiana song. It ruined my life. When I was like, what year was that song released? Because whatever year that was, he
Probably
needs
sometime in 2022.
he
Because I
no,
didn't start
it was
hearing about Blue.
2022.
I think I
I was
started
in
hearing about
Chicago.
Blueface from Chicago.
No, I was in Chicago when that song came out.
Oh,
It came out in boop 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 boop. Dang, why is it so far down here? It came out in he was on that song West Coast too. The song came out in 2019, I think.
no, sorry, friend. I was just thinking. No, I was just randomly thinking of that Blueface video where he was trying to deadlift in the gym. He couldn't even lift like that 10-pound barbell. Remember, he was shaking his legs, and people made a bunch of memes out of that.
Yeah, it came out in 2018.
Uh, Also, he's been around for a minute because I didn't start hearing about him until maybe like the middle of 2021.
Yeah, he it came out in 2018, and then he got Cardi B and YG to feature on Tatiana, and then
Hmm.
Famous Crip came out in
He's a Crip.
2018.
I mean, I'm not surprised. He does.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
his name is Blueface, friend.
I don't know why I'm not putting these two and twos together. It's like, first I didn't know Sexy Red was a blood, but her name is Sexy Red and she does wear all red. I guess that does make sense. And then I didn't know that Blueface was a Crip. His name is Blueface and he wears all blue. It's like, should be a little smarter than that.
Yeah, and then had that song with West Coast, called West Coast with
He's from
um,
LA.
yes,
Mm.
Jesus, who was on the song? It was that white guy. Um, I used to listen to him. He used to date Halsey.
I don't
Jesus,
know, friend.
hold on, I'm about to look it up. It was G Easy. Yep, it was G Easy. It had all black, Blueface, G Easy, and YG. It's called West Coast.
Mm.
I used to listen to that song. But those are the two songs that I know. Why? And then he like disappeared for a bit. Nobody heard from him. And then like it was like last year when he reappeared. He spawned out of nowhere with that show with like him getting them girls to, like tattoo his face on him and like locking them up or whatever. I don't know. He was being a little R. Kelly ish. Um, so yeah, and then for some reason, everybody forgot about that, and then he came out with Krishan, and then we had the whole the Krishan missing tooth saga, and then she got on Baddies, and then they got a show together, and then he got back with Alexis, and then they made a song, and then there's like the whole saga. Let's leave it. Let's put it down. Let's put it away. Let's leave them back from last year. And then the whole Will and Jada thing, it's tired. It's old. They're old.
I don't. I don't. That was funny. I don't even think we need to get into that whole Oscar situation. If you haven't heard about that, just go on
No.
YouTube at this point.
It still sends
Um,
me how them white people was like, oh, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. Oh, I
I was
cried when
so.
I saw
Wasn't
it.
it Amy Schumer that said
Yes,
that
it
she
was
was
Amy Schumer.
traumatized, that she
Yeah,
has post traumatic stress?
it's like, girl, I want you to be for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then her constantly, and then these they keep releasing books about their marriage and their lives and da 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 da. It's like at
I
this point,
my mom actually has a copy of Will's book. I think it's literally just called Will. Like, isn't it like a autobiography of his life or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't know Jada made one though.
Yeah, she did. She made one this year. I mean, 2023.
Mm.
But yeah, I didn't read it. But it was about her life. It had Will in it, Tupac in it. She was like doing like a little press release book tour type thing, where she was going on different podcasts with people and talking about her life and stuff. And it's just like, oh, girl, let's let's put it down. Also, the Red Table Talk got canceled. Um, I mean, poor my girl Willow. She's out of a job. My poor girl.
Mm.
But it's all right. She make fire music. Um, so that's okay.
I haven't. I never really kept up with Willow's music that much, honestly. I've definitely kept up more with Jaden's music. What kind of music does Willow make again? I assume she's also an alternative type of artist.
Yeah, it's alternative type indie.
Yeah.
But I like her.
Because
I like her
Jaden makes
songs.
hip hop, but he kind of has this alternative vibe to his hip hop.
Yeah, I like that one song that him and Willow made together. What's it called?
I
Summertime,
don't
I
think I
think.
heard it.
Let's play a little
They
a little
also made a
snippet.
song called Summertime, really following in their
Yeah.
daddy's footsteps.
No, it's called Summertime in Paris. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
an icon living. Tom
hold
Rickles
on.
just did it. Whoa. Come for you 5 minutes. Never heard it.
It's nice. I like it. But yeah, it's a pretty good song. I like them. I like the kids. They've been serving ever since With My Hair. Um, what's that? Oh, when Jaden used to be back with Justin Bieber and them. That was fun times. Fun times.
Mm.
You know what, friend? Oh, this is a little off topic. But I was reminded yesterday. Do you know who Amanda Todd is?
No, friend, who is that?
Okay, so basically, I don't know if this happened over on your side of the pond, friend. But basically, back and this is like a universal Gen Z experience because other people talk about this before too. Basically, back when we were in school, Amanda Todd was a girl who unalived herself by drinking bleach, and she made this
Mm.
YouTube video where she like had like these title cards, and she like wrote words on them explaining like why she did what she did, and she posted them on YouTube, right? And it was shown in classrooms across America. It was everywhere. It was shown in my class like 5 different times. Mind you,
That's.
I was probably in like third, fourth grade. You never saw that video, friend?
Honestly, no, friend. I remember there was a similar situation that happened on TikTok in 2020 of this one. She was probably around my age at the time. She's probably like 16 or something like that. It's just dark skinned girl in high school that was bullied because of her complexion and that she drank bleach and killed herself.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Amanda Todd thing happened in 2012. So I was like 8. And so they showed that video in between 2012 and like 2015. So I was between like what grade are you in when you're 8? Like second grade? I was in like second grade and like fourth grade. Why are you showing that to
Yeah,
second
we were
graders?
both. I think we were both in the second grade.
Why are you showing that to second graders? Like, what's why? Why? And like, I talked to other people, and like other people saw it too. And it's like, why? Also, why does she have a whole Wikipedia page? What? Basically, it was like basically they used to show it in classrooms to like discourage people from cyberbullying. 'Cause that's what's happened to her. It's like an anti-bullying
Mm-hmm.
campaign, and so it was like supposed to be like a cautionary tale you showed in classrooms. But like, oh yeah, apparently, the guy who she was blackmailed by this guy, and he was actually sentenced to 13 years in prison on October 14th, 2022. So that wasn't that long ago.
Mm.
Yeah. Anywho, next thing that you believe in 2023 is, well, I mean, TikTok, but also not really. It's more so
Mm-hmm.
the drama and the toxicness of TikTok that can stay behind. Cause I mean, let's be for
Yeah.
real, nobody's leaving TikTok. Like at this point, it's kind of you kind of need to have TikTok to be in the know, and like people make their money from there, so it's like it's the whole thing. But the whole toxic side with the gender wars and the weird scenarios and the weird challenges and stuff like that can like stay behind. That should have stayed in 2020 actually.
Ooh. Here's another thing I think we should definitely leave in 2023 that I don't think we had even written down on the list. Aside from the weird gender wars, we really, as Black people, need to let go of these weird diaspora wars, like with all these different ethnic groups of Black people coming at each other's necks for dumb things, like African Americans versus Caribbeans versus West Africans versus East Africans, just whatever, versus Afro Latinos and so on.
Yeah, because there was no reason. Actually, this happened in 2023. I joined a space like early 2023. Ooh, Jesus, where it was like um Africans versus African Americans, and like they were calling us monkeys and like hanging fodder, and it's like whoa, it's like that's why you don't know where you're from. Da, 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 da. First of all, we're all black.
I have
Let's
I
calm
have so
down.
much to say about that, friend. That okay, so I find it so embarrassing when my fellow Caribbeans say to African Americans that they don't know where they come from. And I'm thinking to myself, we're not that much more special than African Americans. We don't know where we come from either. We are just dropped off in a different location from Africa. We're all in the same boat, just different stops, bro.
Yeah, I feel like it's so stupid to say, "Oh, you don't know where you come from." Like I do know where I come from. I'm from Chicago. That's where I'm from. Thank you. That's where my mom's from. That's where my
and
dad's from. My great grandma is
And
from
I
Mississippi.
remember there was this. I remember there was this one guy that was saying that African Americans that they have white names that their last names are Thompson. It's like, what kind of stupid argument is that when there are so many like Africans that also have last names like Charles or something like that. Like I know this one I know this one Haitian girl that her last name is Charles. Like colonialism, y'all.
Yeah, the whole thing is so stupid. Let's sit it down. Let's put it down. Let's step away. Let's look in the mirror to ourselves.
Hmm.
I'm black.
I think the most important thing that we could take from this, we can acknowledge the beautiful differences that we have in our cultures, but I feel at the same time we should also acknowledge the similarities that we share because while there are some differences in our cultures, there is also a lot of shared similarities because like I said, same boat, different stops.
Yeah.
Like you'd
Yeah.
be surprised how many people kept on their traditions when they were separated from their families and whatnot.
Yeah. Kept on
Like
their
where do you
traditions.
right.
Or tried to keep on like some part of their names.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's just really weird, and the whole argument is so stupid. And let's not forget that the Europeans were not the only ones involved in the slave trade.
Right.
So let's
And
not act.
we have the British, Spaniards, French, Portuguese, Dutch. list kind of goes on, honestly.
So let's not forget, and let's not act superior or big and bad, just because you know exactly where your ancestors were from. That don't make you special, babe. Because I know too.
Even if you go to, I have so many Nigerian and Ghanaian friends that tell me so many stories that like that there are a lot of Africans, that will make fun of African Americans, for not knowing where they're from. But if you go to Nigeria and Ghana, there's a lot of the same problems that they suffer with just in the US. Like in Nigeria and Ghana, that's actually where the biggest skin bleaching like companies like are located. Like believe it or not, friend, all those skin bleaching products, a lot you don't really find those in the United States. All those are like in Ghana, Jamaica, or Haiti or something like that. So they suffer from colorism, all the self-internalized anti-blackness. So I even need to get started on the chokehold on toxic Christianity. They have anti-queerness. They have just about every problem that black people in the US does. They have lack of educational opportunities because of poverty and a bunch of systematic like class systems put in place, corrupt
Yeah.
governments.
Speaking of
Could go
speaking
on
of
all day, friend. That's like a whole episode on its own.
speaking of skin color changes, there was this girl who had a podcast. Take away the mics in 2023. Not
Hmm.
mine though. I just got it. It's pink. It's cute. Don't take away
Yeah, I
mine.
saw the one with the smiley face on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm using right now. Does it sound good?
Oh, you're using it.
But
It sounds really crispy, friend. I honestly thought it was just the new app that we're using today. It's the new mic as well.
nice, my mic. Look at her. Ah!
Do you
Okay.
have a name for her?
We're gonna call her Patricia.
Hmm.
But there's this girl who had a podcast that said she asked the question, would Michael Jackson has be would had Jesus, I can't speak. Would Michael Jackson be as popular as he is if he had stayed dark skinned? And it's like, girl, I'm gonna need you to be for
Um,
real. First of all, his most popular era was Thriller when he was dark.
yeah,
Also, he had vitiligo. People like to forget or pretend like he didn't, but he did.
yeah. A lot of people accuse Michael Jackson of hating his blackness, but quite frankly, I think he was one of the loudest celebrities to be proud about blackness.
These
Honestly,
people ain't heard black or white. These people ain't listen to. They don't care about us. Like what? All I gotta say is that, like,
him
listen.
and Janet, they were doing what Beyonce. I wouldn't even say what Beyonce tries to do. What Beyonce tries to imitate doing, honestly, because Beyonce, she's just another black capitalist that could truly give so much less about our communities, that I just feel that she really just capitalizes off of that more than anything. Like you go back to the era of Thriller or like Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation, for example, they really were being a voice for change, like at the time when things were really bad in the 80s, when you had all these black and brown neighborhoods with the crack epidemic and whatnot, and the rise in police brutality with Rodney King.
Mm.
Um, and Michael Jackson, like he also had, you had mentioned songs like Black and White, They Don't Care About Us. He also has a song called Liberian Girl, which I can't
Yes,
really name too
I
many
love that
songs
song.
that depict African women in that kind of light. Like, especially going back to the time of the 80s, there was just no authentically positive representation about Africa. I didn't have no Black Panther movies or anything back then like that of that nature. I think the closest thing they had was the Coming to America movie with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Also, let's not forget that video of Michael Jackson putting down that gun. Change lives. He said,
I don't
"Who?"
remember. I think I remember that.
It's been all over TikTok. It's funny.
But yeah, I feel like when people say that, like, would Michael Jackson have been as popular, like, if he was dark skinned, like, throughout his vitiligo and skin bleaching? Er, honestly, I think so. What do you think, friend?
I think so. I mean, I think it's a stupid question considering his most popular eras were when he were dark skinned. He had already solidified
Right.
himself before he was taken over by the vitiligo. So I think it's just think
Mm-hmm.
it's ignorant. I think it's stupid. I think it's a question that needs to be asked. Once again, take away the mics, not mine. Um, take away the mics. Also, next topic, we have talked about the trauma dumping and the trauma bonding once again on TikTok. Cause
Ooh,
like,
I know you have a lot more to say about than me. I'll let you take the mic for a few.
why was there a whole trend where people used to like go to like restaurants or drive-throughs and tell people about like, oh, my husband died, my wife died, my dog died today. You know, I want to pass on. It's like I'm just trying to serve you a burger. I don't need to, and like sometimes the stories are fake and you're just like there to get a reaction.
Either that or they
Why?
want sympathy for free food.
Why? Not even free food because they be paying for it. Or sometimes they just don't get the food. They're just there to tell the story. It's like, ma'am, I'm like 16, 17, 18, 20, working a minimum wage job trying to serve you burgers and tacos. I don't need to hear about the fact that your husband died 5 years ago today. And nobody asked you that. Nobody, that was not, I didn't ask, only thing I asked you was, do you want ketchup with that? That was my only question. That's so stupid. People need to,
Mm-hmm.
some things need to be private. Not everything needs to be shared. I don't need to know
Mm-hmm.
about your life. I don't know you. And people just stop coming on TikTok crying and then like be crying on the lives, be crying in the videos. Oh, let's not forget what's that lady name? Um Miss
Mm,
Ukulele. Jesus. What's her name? My God. Miranda
feels
sings.
like it's not. I think I know you're talking about, friend, but you could recap me.
Let's not forget about the Miss Ukulele, where she was like the I'm not a groomer, I'm just a loser. It was, oh my god, the fact that she thought that was a good idea is funny to me. She was like, the only thing I've ever groomed is my two Persian cats. Girl, girl, I need people to stop trauma dumping and also take things more seriously. Like, you were accused of grooming
Damn.
children. You were accused of grooming children. Why are you playing a ukulele? Why
No, I'm.
are you strumming a
Damn.
ukulele?
No, friend, I just randomly thought of something that I totally forgot to say something that I had on my mind about the gym bros, but I don't want to like go back to like an old topic. I'll bring that up another time. Continue, friend.
All right, and then we can bring the whole trauma dumping around into the ratchet TV. So
Mm-hmm.
of course we have the classics. You know, MTV, BET,
VH1.
VH1, Oxygen at one point, with the Bad Girls Club and them.
Is
Um,
MTV the one with the little wolf logo, or am I thinking of another one?
Maybe, I don't know. I
I
remember
don't
that.
know, friend. I just remember
I
there was one channel with little wolf logo or whatever.
It might have been a wolf. I remember the astronauts, but there may have been a wolf
I
at
don't
one
know, friend.
time.
They're always changing it.
Um, but yeah, because we had Jersey Shore, we had Bad Girls Club, we had Love and Hip Hop, um,
Mm-hmm.
all those type of shows, and then most recently, which has spawned in the last 2 years, has been Zeus Network, with Baddies East, Baddies West, the boy version,
Mm-hmm.
Jocelyn's Cabaret. Um, Now, listen, I'm not gonna judge you. If you like to watch that stuff, go on ahead with your bad self. I used to love watching Jersey Shore. I used to love watching Bad Girls Club. Now, the issue is not the shows themselves. You know, people can consume whatever media they like. Um, and then people were saying, "Oh, well, it's showing people a caricature of black people or black women." It's like, well, there are women who actually act like that. So I don't think we should be calling people's real personalities caricatures just because they are black,
Mm-hmm.
because like
Right.
it makes it seem like oh, black people don't act like that. Well, they do. You wouldn't say that to somebody else. Why are we calling
No,
people's
I
personalities
completely know what you
caricatures?
mean, friend. Like, I understand where they come from at a certain angle, but you have to be a little careful with your wording at the same time because, to your point, there are black people that act like that because they're on a monolith, you know?
Yeah. The issue is not the shows themselves. You know, people can watch whatever they want. You're an adult. You do you,
Mm-hmm.
boo. The issue comes with, and this is gonna wrap into the other topic of conversation. The issue comes with the lack of parental supervision. Because why is your
Ooh.
7 year old, why is your 5, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 year old watching Baddies East?
Mm-hmm.
Where are the
And you know I have a and you know I have a little bit to build off of that, friend. It really just reminds me of the whole like Sexy Red and Sukiana like discourse. It's like Sexy Red and Sukiana are like indoctrinating like the young little black girls, like to objectify themselves and talk a certain way, dress a certain way, this and that. And I'm just thinking to myself, Sexy Red and Sukiana are not waking up every morning thinking I'm gonna go make music for like little black girls that age range between to like 5 to 9 years old, bruh. It's like if you truly believe that Sexy Red or any other artist alikes music is somehow damaging to your use, then that's your job as a parent to monitor them. Why are you blaming Sexy Red and Sukiana or any other artists alike, or putting some sort of pressure on them on what they're doing to make their career is a bad thing and that they need to dim their spotlight in some way to appease an audience that wasn't even their audience to begin with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then that reminds me of that video I saw the other day with the toddlers singing that Rich Baby Daddy song. It's like, why does your
Hmm.
toddler know the words to Rich Baby Daddy? Why does she have a microphone and a speaker singing Rich Baby Daddy? Shake that for who?
And that's what I'm saying, friend. It's like you have a whole group of these little black girls. That's a lot of irresponsible parents now that you think about it. And yet they just blame it on Sexy Red. Like, what is like it's just so beyond me, friend. Like, Sexy Red is making music for grown ratchet women, not little girls. I said what I said, and I digress.
Exactly. And then I remember that video I saw, that ballet teacher who was saying that she hates teaching now because the little kids are disrespectful. And then she was playing like, for her students, she was playing like Princess Tiana music, and then they asked her to put on Sexy Red. And it's like, how do I know about Sexy Red? And that other video where that kindergarten teacher was like asking like the kids like all their favorite songs recently, there was a lot of Sexy Reds, there was a lot of Summer Walkers, there was a lot of Drakes, there was a lot of there's just a lot of stuff that kids shouldn't be knowing. Like what happened to Kids Bob? Where did Kids Bob go? What happened to what happened to Disney songs? What happened to Disney Channel original music? What happened to High School Musical?
Hmm.
Where did it all go? Because these parents are giving their kids iPads and computers and not watching what they're doing, and then want to
And
act
it's
like,
like, oh, sorry, friend. No,
and then
you finish, friend. You finish.
want to have a shocked Pikachu face when the kids turn out to do stuff they're not supposed to be doing.
And to build off of you, friend, it's like, okay, so sometimes no matter how hard you try to monitor your kid, they might find out about someone like Sexy Red in some way, shape, or form. So that leads to what's the word I'm looking for? That leads to option number dose. I think it's important that it goes back to the whole like convincing your parents to get GTA thing. It's like I think your child should have some sort of knowledgeable understanding of what goes into Sexy Red's lyrics before they repeat them, because let's say they repeat in the wrong setting, it's obviously not going to end well. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because I really doubt that those little girls that we saw in that viral video like sing Sexy Red know what they're saying. They look no more than like 6 years old. What do they know about what Sexy Red is
They
saying
weren't
at that
even
age?
6. Those were like toddlers. Those babies were like 3. Those They were too small to be 6. They were like 3, maybe 4.
That one little girl
Yeah.
was going crazy though. She was yelling, I was like,
and
chill.
then and then we also have to notice that all the none of the little girls said the curse words. None of them cursed.
Hmm.
They were all just singing the song. None of them said the curse words. So there's like some supervision going on there. That's because they are playing these things around their kids. You have to know what's appropriate to play around your kid and what isn't. Because why are you listening to that around your child? And you think they're
Hmm.
not going to repeat it? That doesn't make any sense.
If I may add another thing, friend, I just think that it's so funny that a lot of these like millennials and these Gen Xers are the ones that mostly come after Sexy Red. It's like I don't understand why they act like that. The woman rappers that they came up on are so much more pure.
They want to pretend like they don't know anything about that. You listen to Little Kim. You listen to Foxy Brown. I want you to be serious.
And then some people will argue that the lyrics that they were saying were more intelligent. And I'm just like, but I'm not trying to
Intelligent.
compare who's the better artist. I'm simply just drawing a comparison that they're sexual lyrics nonetheless.
Intelligent is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's funny.
But continue, friend. You continue. You were talking about Lil Kim and who else? You could, I
Foxy
can,
Brown.
yeah, Foxy
Um,
Brown. You have Trina. You have, um, what's homegirl's name again? Oh my god, it's gonna drive me crazy. Well, even if you go back to like, I'm sorry, friend. I just had a brain fart moment. Let me actually type in 90s and 2000s woman rappers.
but yeah, and then there are parents who like to ban things so that they don't have to parent. Like, oh, well, I don't monitor my kids, so instead of monitoring them, let's just get rid of this thing. It's like, what? Why do you want to get rid of Sexy Red, Sukiana, Ice Spice? Because your kids
The
listening to
Brat,
it. Yeah.
Eve,
Mm.
um, Remy Ma.
Oh. um.
Even Erica Badu could be a little sexual.
Mhm.
I mean, even though I
Mm,
wouldn't go as far as say she's a rapper at all, but still.
yeah. Oh, and
My,
then.
my, my point is, regardless of the genre, music isn't always wholesome.
Mhm. That out that
You could
it's all
continue
down
though,
to super.
friend.
It's all down to supervision. Speaking of a lack of supervision, last week we discussed the GTA 6 trailer. And so there are a
Mm-hmm.
group of parents who have made it their mission to get GTA 6 banned. They don't want it released because their whole thing is like, oh, video games are for children, and Rockstar is monitoring is not monitoring is marketing GTA 6 to my kids. And this obviously isn't a game for kids, so it needs to be banned. These people don't read. These people might be illiterate. These people might be Leah Michelle because
Mm-hmm.
there's a rating. There's a rating in the trailer. There's a rating on the game. There's a rating in the box. It all says M. It all says 17 plus. So if your
Mm-hmm.
child isn't 17 plus, well, clearly this marketing isn't for them. Cause and then people are like, oh well, like I played the game when I was a kid. I used to go over to my friends' houses and play the game and da 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 da. Okay, well don't get the game for your kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's like don't get the game for your kid. When your kid goes over to your friends' houses, tell the parents they can't play the game. It all
I
comes down
feel
to
the people
monitoring.
that. Oh, sorry, friend.
It all comes down to watching your children. That's what they do. You're the parent. We didn't sign up to parent your kids. You're not gonna stop me from playing a game because you can't watch your kids. Your kids ain't my kids. Your kid didn't come out my cooch. So why am I paying for it?
No, to build off of you, friend, I really feel that the adults, well, more so the parents that are making these arguments, have probably never been a gamer or picked up at least one game in their entire lives. Because to say that video games are for kids has to be one of the biggest lies I've ever heard come out of somebody's mouth.
Video games can be made for adults. Not
It's just
everything
like when
for
you
children.
go. That's like saying that cartoons are only for kids. It's not true at all when you consider that some of the earliest cartoons were pornography films.
Let's
Believe it
not
or
forget
not.
about Sausage Party. Once again,
Sausage Party, every last
yeah.
Adult Swim television
Let's
show.
let's not forget that my parents took me to see Sausage Party when I was 12 because they
That
thought it
was
was a cartoon.
2016, right? If I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah, because they thought it was a movie for kids. I mean, we stayed. We
You
watched the
know,
movie.
I
We
actually
paid for the ticket.
actually have I have a funny similar story, friend. Friend, I can't even make this up. That when Deadpool came out in 2016, that I remember my gym teacher at the time when I was in the sixth grade that she had two young sons. They were probably in, I think her one son was in kindergarten and her other son was like in the third grade or something like that. And I remember she was complaining to the library teacher that she didn't know that it wasn't for kids, that she thought that it was a Spider-Man movie.
Oh, that reminds me. My friend Matt, we were talking on Twitter the other day with the rest of our friends, and our friend King was talking about Deadpool, and Matt was like, "Is that Spider Man?"
I mean, it is ironic and funny at the same time because Deadpool is supposed to be a mixture of Spider-Man and the character Deathstroke from DC, like a parody type of character.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's funny. I don't know, but then once again, reading is fundamental. Um, get out your Leah Michelle bag, hop into your um literate bag. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think that's it, friend. I feel like. Do you have anything else you want to leave in 2023?
Um, if we're talking about a completely new topic, no, honestly, I think we did everything according on list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got nothing then, friend.
I don't know.
I mean,
Some people,
maybe we can make a follow up to this as a bonus episode, unless in case something else comes up. Who knows?
yeah, some people think we should leave Marvel in 2023 because it's had a plummet in quality. Um,
People, you first, friend, because you know I'm about to go off.
people saying Marvel fell off, which is like yes, but also no. People are like, oh well, the shows don't connect to the movies, and they aren't connecting storylines, and da da da. It's like, well, what shows are you watching?
I was just about to say, you literally can't watch Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness without WandaVision.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can't watch Loki. I mean, you can't watch Ant Man without watching Loki. It's like you're gonna be
And you can
confused.
and now and you can't watch the upcoming Captain America movie without watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, friend, it's a follow up.
Oh, I guess I gotta
Hmm.
finish. um, but yeah, and like yes, some Marvel movies have fallen off because like I mean everybody's dead.
Honestly, friend, even aside not having Iron Man and Captain America, well, Steve Rogers' version of Captain America, it's like the MCU has never been perfect. After the first Avengers movie came out in 2012, when you had movies releasing like Thor the Dark World and Iron Man 3, people were literally complaining about the same thing, that Marvel was going downhill and that they thought that Marvel was just gonna flop. But it's like you gotta have a little patience. You're gonna have some wins and you're gonna have some lose projects. Like yeah, Thor the Dark World and Iron Man 3 like weren't as great at the time compared to other projects that we've gotten straight after that. Like 2013 was just a pretty mediocre year, if not bad, arguably for the MCU. Because then following in 2014, Marvel picked itself back up again. We had Captain America the Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean the most recent Marvel movies we had Spider Man. Was it No Way Home?
Yeah, that was back in 2021.
Oh my god, was it?
It's been 2 years already,
Oh
friend. That's
my
crazy.
god, we're old. This is crazy. We had
I
Spider Man
tell
No
you,
Way
friend,
Home.
Spider-Man. I tell you, friend, Spider-Man fans have been eating good for the last 7 years straight.
Yeah, we had Doctor Strange. We had Thor: Love and Thunder. I know y'all. I know y'all don't like it, but it has a special place in my heart. We had
If we're
Ant
talking about
Man.
just MCU stuff, we had. Oh, I'm sorry, friend. You can continue.
We had I'm just talking about the movies, not the shows. We had Ant
Oh,
Man. Whatever that. Listen, Ant Man movies have never been good. So let's start there. I don't know what y'all expected. The movies have never
they're
been the
just,
cream of the crop.
they're just, they're just cheesy, entertaining filler adventures of the MCU. The way I view it,
Yeah. What other? What else? I feel like that's it.
we had.
Oh,
Hang on,
Guardians of the
friend. I'm
Galaxy.
just scrolling through. Oh, we had Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We had Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, Secret Invasion wasn't that great. I thought it had a good start, but really fell on its face middle to end.
I never tuned in.
You're not missing out, friend.
People also said the She-Hulk like caused the downfall. First of all, She-Hulk was fun. Y'all are just some party
I actually
poopers.
still actually didn't get around to that one or Miss Marvel, friend. The last,
I didn't watch Miss
I think
Marvel
the
either.
last, I think the last Disney Plus Marvel MCU show that I watched was it, oh no, it was Secret Invasion. But okay, so what happened at the time? I remember it was March 2022. Moon Knight came out, and following this was She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, which I don't know. I just never gotten around to those, honestly. And I know you can't watch the new Marvel film without watching Miss Marvel because it's literally like right before it.
Yeah. Yeah.
She-Hulk, I saw some clips up on YouTube. Like I can just tell they weren't planning for it to be like a serious type of project. It was a little bit more let loose.
It was just a fun little cutesy show. And y'all took it
Hmm.
so serious.
I saw Daredevil returned in it, which that made me really happy.
Oh yeah,
I know
Daredevil
that,
and She-Hulk slept together.
but supposedly they're gonna retcon that they're just gonna completely disregard it. That because Daredevil, he's planned to have a revival series on Disney Plus, which they want him to go back to his roots of being like the really gritty Daredevil from the Netflix series,
Oh, so
like the more grounded type.
he's done being a hoe?
Huh?
I said, is he done being a hoe?
Yeah.
The girlies are gonna be
also, I
sad.
this is so random, friend, but I saw that the Hulk had a son,
What?
and that at the end of She-Hulk, and that everybody was saying was like, who did that man's haircut?
Oh, I don't know nothing about that.
That's funny.
That's
Oh, friend,
ridiculous.
are you gonna? So since we're in January now, I know the only Disney Plus show that's gonna release it. Well, you haven't seen Daredevil, so I don't know if you'll. Yeah, you won't be able to watch it then. So the show Echo comes out this January on January 14th. It's actually gonna be the first MCU show to just drop the full season, no weekly waiting, and it's gonna be the first TV mature audience rating show on Disney Plus.
Oh, wow. I mean, I can still watch Daredevil, friend. If my dad watches, I'll probably watch it. Listen, friend, even if I
Yeah,
haven't seen
it's
the show
yeah.
before, I'm gonna do a quick Wikipedia search. What's the plot? And I'm gonna move on.
I don't think that's something you could Wikipedia. I could send you a watch list. It's not a long list. So yeah, Echo is a follow up to Daredevil, but Daredevil has a special chronological order to it. I've seen the show 5 times over, so I can text it to you in like 2 minutes.
Oh, friend, that's so much work.
Well, the thing is, friend, there's 3 seasons of Daredevil, but before the third season of Daredevil came out, he was also in that TV show called The Defenders, and the ending of The Defenders leads into Daredevil season 3. So technically, you have 4 seasons to watch. But yeah, they're only like, I guess it is kind of a lot. It's 13 episodes a season, and they're about an hour.
Oh, friend, that's a project. That's a project.
If it makes it worth your while, Daredevil is still my favorite TV show I've ever watched. Like from a filmmaker's perspective, I could so hardly call many TV shows like just perfect.
Mm, yeah,
Like down to production and acting, just the whole lot.
it'll be on the watch list, friend. I still have to get through my Umbrella Academy notes. There's so many
Hmm.
pages. Hold on, let me tell you how many pages I have. Cause it's a lot. Oh, and I'm not even done. I'm only on like episode 5, and there's 30 episodes. I
Kind of
can't
feels.
believe the last season.
I never thought I'd see the day that Daredevil will be on Disney Plus. Honestly, and you said your dad watched it.
Yeah, my dad watched all those
That's a
shows.
oh, he's a
Oh,
real one.
I have 44 pages. I have
Mm.
44 pages. Friend, look at all these
Mm.
pages. This is
Oh
my
my.
this is my table of contents. Now look at the pages. Oh, not the keyboard. Look at all these pages. It's so many.
Hmm.
It's just so many pages. So many words. What's the word count? Oh, we have 13,000 words, friend. 13,000 words and 44 pages. Hate to see it. But yes, I still can't believe it's gonna be the last season of Umbrella Academy. Uh,
When
I'm
does
gonna
that
miss
come
them.
out, friend? I don't think they announced a release date yet.
We don't know. It's probably I'm
Oh,
guessing
by the way,
summer.
friend, we're still. I like just noticed we're still recording. We didn't close this out.
Oh no, we're still talking on the pod. I think
Oh my
it's
god,
I think it's
we got
supposed to
carried
be.
away.
I think they're gonna release Umbrella Academy probably around summertime because they released like the cast trailer thingy like back in like November. So if it was spring, I feel like they would have said it. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna guess maybe early late summer, hopefully. Um, but yeah, I need to come back. I need my Robert Sheehan fix. So yeah, I'm need to get the I need to get
Are
on that.
you not the? Oh, by the way, friend, not to say that it's a must watch, but it's a suggestion. Are you interested in watching Luke Cage?
Um, it's been on the watch list for a long time. For
Okay. I just wasn't sure because Luke Cage is also in the Defenders, and I just figured
yeah, it's been
I
on
don't
the
know.
watch list. I've seen some episodes of each show. Like I've seen some episodes
Hmm.
of Luke Kane. What's the girl's name?
Jessica Jones,
Yeah.
she actually had the yeah, I think she finished with the I think she was like the last like Netflix show before they all got canceled to release in 20 uh I don't even remember, friend. I just remember it was the last one to get the plug pulled. But anyways, no, I was just oh my god, the brain farts. No, that Jessica Jones, the first season I really liked. Second season I didn't like, and that really killed the show for me. And I just didn't feel like watching the third season. That's how much I didn't like the second season.
Mm,
Luke Cage was pretty good despite having some problems here and there. Iron Fist was never that great, honestly. You're really not missing out with that one.
mm. Yeah, I've seen some episodes of each show because my dad used to watch them, but I never like sat down and watched the whole entire shows myself. I don't know. It just felt like a big project
Punisher
to
was
me.
also Punisher was also an enjoyable watch.
It's just like a big project to me. That's like so many shows, so little time. All
I'll just have you stick with Daredevil for now, considering Echo.
right, all right, guys. I think this is it. Yeah. So we told you guys what you should leave in 2023. It's a new year, new you. Don't forget it.
Yes.
Leave that toxic person in the past. Leave that man back there. Leave that girl back there. Leave that they them back there. All right. Oh, and we're gonna get out of here. So, toodaloo, y'all. Don't forget to follow us. I forgot all of our socials. So look in the description of the episode. Also, we have a website now. I made a website for us. So I'm gonna plug that in the description as well. Look at all our socials in the description. You can find me on T Critiques everywhere. I finally changed my TikTok username. So yeah, I'm T Critiques everywhere. Um,
I like your new
and
user, by the way. It fits.
thank you. And where can they find you, friend?
Oh, I don't plan on changing my username anytime soon. It's Blurred Equa Vibes with a Z and not an S on everything.
Per. And with that being said, we hope you have an amazing start to your 2024, and we shall see you
Mm.
maybe either on Thursday or next week. Um,
Mm.
yeah, think that's it, y'all. And don't
Yep.
forget to be effing for real. You have something to say, friend?
Nope, just peace, love, and prosperity throughout the start of your 2024s, y'all. Take it easy.
Woo! Bye.